All right, here with the UFC welterweight champion of the world, Kamaru Usman, before he takes on Colby Covington for the second time. And Kamaru, I spoke to Colby in the build-up to this fight. He says that you were forced to take this fight. You're being forced to be here in New York this week. Who is forcing you to step in the octagon with Colby Covington on Saturday?
You know, that's a funny way you put it, because how could I be forced when I've fought 3 fights in a calendar year? Definitely not being forced. It's this is one that I decided I wanted. You know, that was the thing, is when you get your face broken, you know, in front of millions of fans, you don't get up and say exactly what you want. You know, I'm the champion. I'm the undisputed champion. I tell you to sit down, draw a number, and when I call your number, then you're up. And that's all it was. You know, let's be honest. The world wanted to see Masvidal get this title shot. And I granted them that. And in the first one, you know, obviously the circumstances that we had to deal with, you know, they weren't satisfied. So I'm in the business of entertaining. So I said, you know what? I'll give you guys that satisfaction that you guys wanted. So I gave him a second one, gave him his best shot, gave him a full cam. And I went out there and did what I wanted to do. The world also wanted to see a former teammate try to dethrone me. Oh, he knows you best. He can do this, he can do that. So I gave them what they wanted. And I went out there and took care of business. The world wants to see me shut this guy up that's been talking for a long, long time. So once again, I'm going to go in there and do what I do best.
You know, obviously one of the big storylines going into that Masvidal fight, and it was easy to buy into that, is that you were unsatisfied with it, that you had beat him 50-45, but you're like, that's not sitting well with me, I can do a lot better. You went out and knocked him out. How does the first Colby fight sit with you? How do you feel about, you know, the performance? And it was obviously a close fight, but then you did put him away. How do you feel about it?
Oh, it sits well with me, because that's exactly what I said I wanted to do. I told her, there's interviews of me telling him I was going to punish him for 24 minutes and I was going to put him away. And that's exactly what I did. In that fight, yes, you know, there's a lot that he's making, and he's built this narrative to where, yeah, people are starting to kind of buy it a little bit. But for me, it was the mere fact that I understood that the world was not going to be satisfied with me being strategic, going in there and taking him down and outclassing him. So I went out there and gave the world what they wanted. They wanted to see me bang with him. They wanted to see me break this dude's face, and they wanted to see me put him away, and that's what I did.
So what do you want to do in this one?
In this one, it's you know, what I've been doing lately is have fun. I'm in a place in my career to where these are fun for me now. Of course, the lead up aren't that fun, because those aren't, you know, I never got into this to, you know, to be famous or rich, but of course I want to be compensated for my work. And, you know, I'm just having fun with it now. I'm having fun. When I step in there with these guys, of course it's stressful, of course it's hectic, but I'm having fun. I feel at home in my cage when I step in there.
This narrative that you were talking about of how he does complain about a lot of different things in the fight, you know, and you could probably list them all off just the same as me, you know, because he's been saying them all. Well, do any of them in particular stand out, and what do you make of him, you know, going this route of do you think he truly believes it? He just does seem genuine as he's saying it.
Well, the thing is, this is a funny thing about manifestation. You say it enough and you think it enough, you could potentially make it feel real, and that's what he's done. But you know, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Like, these guys are my sons. I've said it. All these guys in this division are my sons now. And I'm proud of this son, because he's doing a good job. He's stuck with this narrative, and it's got people on board with it. You know, we can list them off. First, he said he was a fake eye poke, when the world watched you finger my eye. You know, then he said he was a fake nut shot. Well, it's clear you grazed my cup. And as a man, we know that when you graze the cup, you anticipate what's about to happen, that pain. And I anticipated that pain, and literally, he said I took 5 minutes. Literally in 30 seconds, I was like, yeah, there's no pain. Let's scrap. Let's go. And we kept it going. And then, of course, he said, oh, my jaw wasn't broken. Then you go to your corner and you told your corner, hey, my jaw's broken, because you wanted your coaches to potentially save you and stop the fight for you. And they didn't. So you had to continue fighting. And then you got put on your ass twice and finished. Then you said, no, the referee is the one that helped you. That's why. The referee didn't put you on your ass twice. You know, I did that. And he knows exactly why. Then after the fight, he goes to, oh, no, it was my team. It was the training environment that I was at. That's why I lost. Come on, man. You know, as a man, we've seen other former champions that can't accept the loss. You have to be able to accept that loss because that helps your growth.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can't accept it, it might be a short night for him this Saturday.
I mean, obviously you're very confident, man, and you're confident going into all the fights, but because of the fact you have beat him, because of the fact of like all those things that you're saying, kind of like the way he's manifesting that the fight was closer than it really was. I've heard, you know, in talking to some people about this fight, like Kamaru just can't be overconfident, man. This could be a situation where Kamaru would be a little overconfident. Is that anything that you had to battle as preparing for this fight?
Kamaru, there's no such thing as overconfident with me. There's no such thing because I put in the time and I put in the effort. There's one time where I took my eye off the ball. That was my second professional fight, and we saw what happened. I learned a lesson that day, and I said to myself, when I walked out of that cage, I said to myself, I would never let that happen again. Mm-hmm. And so there's no such thing as being overconfident. I'm confident in my abilities, and I'm confident in my training. I put so much time in, everyone knows how much I love to spend time with my daughter, and I love to be in my house. Mm-hmm. But me taking time 9 weeks, you know, away from her and sacrificing like that, you know, how dare someone tell me that, you know, oh, I'm overconfident. No, I'm confident in my abilities, and I put the time and the work in.
You've had some very fun title fights in your title reign. You know, not even just the fights itself, but just like the build-up, the circumstances, Fight Island, and Jorge's getting off of a jet on short notice. You know, and the whole pandemic thing, of course. When you're sitting at the Knicks game, you know, this week, and you're thinking about yourself walking out to Madison Square Garden, where does this one rank in terms of, you know, the cool things that you've done in your career so far?
It's up there, you know, which is one of the main reasons why I decided that I wanted to do this. I've already fought twice this year. I could have, you know, relaxed and said, I don't want to take more time away from my family. But, you know, this one's special. How do you top what I've done in the sport? Mm-hmm. You know, headline T-Mobile Arena, you know, fantastic event. Headlined Abu Dhabi, the first one, Fight Island, you know, humongous event. Headlined the first fight back with fans, major event. You know, how do you top those? You know, this was the next step in topping those. And, you know, when I'm said and done with this sport, I'm going to look back and say, wow, I did all those things. Mm-hmm. You know, but right now, you know, we keep our eye on the ball and we go get the job done this weekend. Yeah,
and so we'll talk about that here. When the fight starts, you guys know each other. You've been in there for, you know, nearly 5 full complete rounds. What do you expect him to do differently in this rematch?
You know, I know the coaches and I know the camp that he's gone to, so I know the way they prepare guys and the way they train. So I expect him to try to buy into that system a little bit. But let's just be honest, this guy's an asshole, you know, and when he starts to feel me in there, he's going to resort back to what he wants to do and what he thinks is going to save him. But I think I need to get in there and I need to make him feel what it is to be in there with me. You know, he's forgotten that because the way he's been talking, obviously in his mind, he's forgotten what that was that first time. Mm-hmm. And so I need to go in there and let him remember why he's telling his corner, I think my jaw is broken, mm-hmm. you know, because he wanted out.
Do you think when you get a chance to see him this week that you'll be able to kind of impose that psychological advantage on him again, that when he's actually around you and feels your presence again, that he'll remember what he felt in that first fight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to try. He's known it. He's felt it for years. Before we were even on each other's radar to fight, you know, he felt it. We saw the viral video shot by Will Harris, Anatomy of a Fighter, when we were backstage. And he was preparing for the press conference for his fight with RDA. We saw the video backstage. I walked up to him and I told him, they hit him all week. I walked up to him and I told him, I said, hey, you know, you're talking a lot of trash online. Yeah. You know, why don't you say it to my face while you're here next to me? And he said nothing. He stared at his phone, was reading his lines of what he was going to say outside when he got out there. So we know how he feels about me. I don't need to try to impose it. I am who I am. That's the big difference between myself and him. In this sport, I know the basis of martial arts. He doesn't. Yep. He just wants to be famous. He wants to be, you know, the guy in the limelight. That's why this guy's hiring girls to be on a boat with him. They're not even talking to him. They're like sitting there looking away from him. It's the silliest thing I've ever seen. But, you know, more power to him. More power to him.
Last night, Dana White told me that UFC 205 set the record for Madison Square Garden, you know, with live gate. This is expected to be number 4th in that venue's history. in terms of just revenue generated for this fight. I've also heard you say a lot about securing the bag. That's been a quote of yours recently. If you don't mind me asking, how big of a bag are we talking about here? You know, what does the bag look like for this fight?
Let's just say how you top what I've done in the sport, and so far, you know, you top it by going to MSG, you know, and you know, you go to MSG with the pound for pound best mixed martial artist in the world right now. You know, obviously promoted by the pound for pound best promoter in the game, Dana White. Mm-hmm. You know, the bag gets very, very big at that point.
All right, well, good to hear it. And I know that I mean, who doesn't like the big bags, right? And so I've been thinking to myself, after this fight, you win, potentially you knock out Colby Covington again, you're standing there in Madison Square Garden. There is this guy, Khamzat Chimaev, that everybody is so in love with right now, and you know, that equates to dollars, right? So is there any interest in there for you? But I also know you come from the wrestling world where you got to earn it, right? I mean, where is Khamzat in terms of on your radar?
Yeah, I mean, it's that's the thing right now. We're in a position to where you know, it has to make sense for both of us. You know, so you know, if it makes sense, you know, for the promotion, it makes sense for me. You know, we don't shy away from it. You know, so obviously, you know, we trust Dana, and we're gonna sit down. We're gonna have a conversation and see what makes sense. But there's a list of guys. I mean, it's kind of tough, you know, when you got guys sitting there that, you know, have put together this years and years of work and getting there, and the world considers them as, you know, number one or the number two or the number three guy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of tough to just say, all right, we want what's popular right now. Let's just do that and forget all these guys. You know, that kind of, you know, spits on the merit of what we're doing here with the rankings and all that situation. So it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you know.
What do you think what motivates you the most when you're getting ready for a fight, though? Is it I could lose to this guy? Is it I'm going to get paid a lot of money for this guy? Like, at this point in your career, like, what is the main motivator that's getting you through the hardest workouts of your day?
You know, at this point in my career, I'm still motivated by the will to be the best. You know, that competition, that still motivates me big time. But, you know, I have a 7-year-old daughter. I have mom and dad to where I kind of have to make sure that they have an easier transition to the next life. And you know, all of that is a big thing for me. So if I'm going to tear up my body and I'm going to take punches and you know, put my health on the line each and every time, of course we got to be, you know, we got to get compensated for that.
Of course.
You know, so, you know, all of these are motivating factors right now, but I have to make sure that my family's good as well.
Well, it's a fun fight week, man. UFC 268, looking forward to the rematch, and I'm sure it'll be a nice Christmas at the Usman household at the end of the year, man. So,
yeah, for the first time I actually get to have the holidays.
That's true,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, unless, you know, I go out there and, you know, throw 2 punches and this guy goes to sleep, I might want to throw down again next week.
Well, we'll see what happens after this fight, but looking forward to very much so, man. Looking forward to Saturday. Thanks for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.